wanted to touch on first, what is your leadership approach coming into this season after you merged last season, especially with a bunch of freshmen and young guys that they have to play vital roles for you?
My biggest thing is something that Coach Christian believes in is empathy and just realizing that I've went through everything that they're about to go through. So just being very empathetic and understanding with them and just tell them that you have to just stay positive and keep fighting through the circumstances that you're going to go through because it will pay off in the end and it's going to help our team become stronger moving forward.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the roster and some of the players and new additions. It's a lot of versatility. Do you think that's by design, and what type of edge do that give y'all over other teams in the league?
Well, it definitely just gives us an edge because we have so many different pieces to bring to the table. We have a lot of driving, we have more shooting, athleticism, we have a huge presence in the post of AT, Chase, and Ace. So I feel like that we have just a larger advantage than we've had in the past because we have so many things to bring to the table. It's going to give us a great competitive edge going into the season.
Okay. A lot of guys playing, the Kennedy League down at Georgetown. One player that stuck out to me was Mezzi. Can you talk about his improvement with just overall using his versatility, playing a lot of point forward this summer? How do you feel that will help your team moving forward this season?
Well, the big thing with Mezzi is that he's a worker. He's putting the time and effort to get the opportunity he's going to get this year. So that's been a big thing with him. It's just he's been in the gym working constantly to get this opportunity. And also his natural gifts, his athleticism, his length, and defensive versatility is going to be amazing for us to have this year. And to be able to put him in different lineups and stuff like that, he's going to really help us this year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. And, Coach Christian talked a lot about the offense, but you have to defend. What is your mentality this season as far as the team and individually with you?
Well, we're definitely going to put a lot of pressure on teams defensively. Before in the past, we haven't been a very aggressive defensive team, but this year we're definitely going to up the ante a little bit with how we get into teams, how we're going to be a full court, half court defense. We're really going to get into teams and realize that nothing comes easy, and that's something we're going to establish early on.
And last one for you individually, what is something that you added to your game, or what is something, not to give too much away, for opponents to try to sell, but regardless, what are some things that you knew leaving last season, going into this past summer, that I need to get better at so I can be the best I can be next season?
Well, it's always been a thing with me is my ball handling. I definitely want to be a more confident ball handler and be able to facilitate through the offense. That's something that I've always worked on. And also my defense has taken a tremendous stride in these past couple months working with Coach Christian because with him, you have to be able to do both sides of the ball. You got to be able to be an offensive player and also a defensive player. So that's been the greatest shot, I think, has been my defense for sure.
Okay, man.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another week of The Focus TV. Yo, we got so much to talk about tonight. As you can see, Cardell at GW Media Day, which means college basketball. Once again, it's literally right here. We spent time at exhibitions already. Man, schedule's about to get busy. We're already talking about a couple weekends where, yeah.
We're
already, it's basketball season.
Booked and busy.
Octavia Wyatt's going to be talking about her NFC East in a little while. She's a little, as you can notice, the change in the mood this week.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Cardell with the Bane quote earlier. But we're gonna start with you. GW Women's.
Yep. They had an exhibition this weekend. They played Division II Mercyhurst. Handled them well. Beat them 75-37. Four Colonials reached double figures, led by sophomore Kayla McWoods, who led away with 14 points and 7 rebounds. The junior Sydney Zambrata, who's a transfer from Louisville, sniper, dropped in 13 points with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. first-year freshman Essence Brown and sophomore Alexis Levy contributed 10 points apiece to give GW 4 players in double figures. But it was their defense that won the game. That's something I kind of, want to look at this season on top of, at media day, Rosati definitely emphasized that they had more depth at guard. Last year was Mealing with Batista, and pretty much that was the main threat out on the perimeter. This year, she said they're a lot deeper. They have a lot more guards they can attack. They can shoot, keep the tempo fast, and play how they want to play, get up and down, use their athleticism, their speed, and try to run teams out the gym. Plus, obviously, if you fast on one end, you can be fast on the other, and that's how they swarm. They want to swarm teams on defense. And they did a good job in this exhibition when they held the Lakers to 27% shooting from the field, including only allowing 9 points or fewer in 3 of the 4 quarters, while forcing 20 turnovers, which led to 24 points. So it was definitely a nice little start to kickstart their season. They opened the season at Villanova Wednesday, November 6th at 7 p.m. before returning home to host Princeton Sunday, November 10th at noon.
All right, from one local women's team to another. Maryland women, they started their exhibition schedule already. There's 2 of them. The first one was over the weekend. They beat visiting Cal U 109-67. But don't let the score mislead you. It was a struggle in the first half because they turned the ball over a whole 17 times. 17 times.
In one half?
Yes.
Hey,
and we know
that next practice was suicidal.
Man,
Life-threatening.
You think Brenda wasn't playing?
Yeah,
Matter of fact,
I know she wasn't playing.
Halftime must have been real, right?
It was probably doing sprints up and down the hallway in the back.
17 turnovers in the first half, 4 in the second half.
Oh, okay, they got the message.
With the Capitol run them stairs.
Oh my God, touch that top of
They only led by 6 in the first half. And credit, Cal U, in these types of exhibitions, they're typically lopsided. It's a team that's, their tallest player was like 5'11". Maryland's has guards that size, wings way bigger. So Shakira Austin didn't start that game, but came in the second quarter. They got going in the second half once they stopped turning the ball over. And really uncharacteristic of them, where they only attempted 1 3 in the first half, where you watched Maryland play a couple times last year. 3-ball went up quite often, right? But it's okay. The second half, they got going. We got to see what, that team played to that Maryland standard, which is defend, rebound, and run. One of the things that just stood out to me so much, the versatility of their forwards and their wings. They're youngsters. Diamond Miller, that size, 6'3", on the wing. Faith Masonius, really impressed with her game. She seems comfortable already. Again, it's just an exhibition. We're going to see as the season goes on. Obviously.
How Ashley look?
Comfortable. One of the things, we were talking about many times since they had that class with Destiny and everything, and things were a little bit different. Ashley gives them the added dimension what we got to see, I think, at the end of the first quarter, or maybe at the end of the first half, rather. She got the ball, let the clock wind down, and everybody got to clear it out a little bit. Just let her go to work. She gave her defender a mean in and out, got into the lane, saw a floater. So that's just a welcome addition, which also opens things up for Taylor Meixel. We know she's quite the sniper. So for her this year, she's getting used to playing off the ball again, right? So in the first half, she probably wasn't as patient as Brenda would have liked. In the second half, she's much more patient. The ball found her in open spots, and we all know she can shoot the basketball. Tonight, Maryland had the second exhibition. They hosted Lincoln University for the, they also scored over 100 points in this game. This one was 115-52. But this time they got off to a fast start. It wasn't like, as we were just talking about, Brenda's not playing that. This time, I told you it was 36-30 in the first game. This time it was 36-15 in the first quarter. So, just another step. They got a lot of young players on their team, and their young players are going to be playing big roles this year, and it's not something that's unheard of at Maryland. I'm just anxious to see how it unfolds this year as it goes, because this is the most depth they've had since that class with Destiny, Kyla, and Blair came in when the vets were Shatori and Brianna Jones. So it's good to see, Maryland's been through some things during that time when they had the mass exodus and whatnot, but this is a really deep team, man. And it's crazy to me. I think you're going to love Diamond Miller when you see her. Just to have somebody 6'3" on the wing breaking down to defend guards, it just can't be fun. Like,
I mean, that's the new wave coming into women's basketball. Candace Parker and all those good ladies, Della Dawn, all these Bree.
Yeah.
They sparked something, so now it's about to be real. You about to see centers out there running point and 2 threes on, seriously. So all around the league, so it's about to get real, man.
Nah, it most definitely is. But again, college basketball is back. But we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, Miss Happy, the energy has changed for our NFC segment. Yes, I'm going to clown each and every week.
It's fine. It's good this week.
Because like last week was all doom and gloom. And
yeah, it was.
This week is good. Team and, it's good this week.
I'm happy.
Okay, that's wonderful. We're happy to be watching the Focus TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Focus TV. Octavia, the floor is yours. Tell us about your Eagles finally winning a game. Yay!
Don't say finally. don't say finally.
Hey, it's been a couple weeks now.
Don't say finally though.
Oh no, you good. You safe. You in the safe zone here. You good.
How?
Because you so petty with it. See? You know how petty you were for me.
You alone.
What I've had to say.
I'm not. He started. He put you in it.
I told him
he gave me peace. You like
But I'm saying, how do I get so much grief?
Because look,
you rub it in when you win.
No, not only that.
I
but
don't.
Her statement this
Y'all
year.
bring it up first.
No, hold on. Your statement this year to me, and everyone watching has heard this, was, I don't like. It's no fun when y'all win.
It's not for me personally.
They won a bowl. She came here in all green.
Nah, you a lie.
She went to the store right before the show, bought a whole Eagles outfit, green face. I'm like, what is this?
She had a mug in here. And it was hot outside.
But
she had a whole sweat like it was December out here, came fresh from the store.
Oh my gosh.
Had the tag on
let me back up because God's going to strike y'all down for these lies.
Look, you got
these
it.
fallacies.
So your team won. Let's go.
Thank you very much. I will get to them later.
Oh, we got to save the
best for last.
They atop that division?
Basically.
That's so sad.
It's the NFC East.
You're right.
We do this every year.
You do. You're right. What we got first?
I'm going to start with the bottom. Well, I take that back. They're not even the bottom. I take that back. But we're going to start with the Giants. The Giants played the Lions this week. Giants lost to the Lions 31-26. Their next game is going to be against the Cowboys, who had a bye this week. Daniel Jones was 28 of 41, 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 carries for 13 yards. Saquon Barkley, 19 carries, 64 yards, 8 receptions for 79 yards and 1 touchdown. Golden Tate, 8 receptions for 85 yards. Darius Slayton, 2 receptions, 50 yards, 2 TDs. And Evan Ingram, 4 receptions, 40 yards, and 1 touchdown. With those stat lines, you would have expected them to win. From how I saw the game, I just feel like they do this every week, every year. I feel like the Giants shoot themselves in the foot every time. It's always something that happens that takes their momentum away. It changes the entire feel of the game. One of the big things that the Giants organization talked about this year was changing the culture. It doesn't look like it's changed too much as of now. There's just new faces there at this point. But like I said last week, and I'll say again this week, I definitely see them playing hard. They play hard every week, and they're not content with being a bottom tier team. And, you see them actually really out there trying to win. And honestly, they could have won this game. They had a lot of, like I said, mistakes that end up shooting themselves in the foot. And then they end up on the losing side of the scoreboard. A lot of situations that happened. Daniel Jones fumbled, the backward pass to Saquon Barkley that got scooped up by Devon Kennard, and he ran in for a 13-yard touchdown. 2 deep passes that went uncontested down the middle of the field. It's just like small missteps happen, and it's at the worst time. Luckily, I will say, it looked like Evan Ingram's starting to get back in the groove of things. I definitely think Slayton is coming along, to be one of their top receivers. Golden Tate is holding it down, like I said, as well, because they're still waiting on Sterling Shepard, who is still in the concussion protocol. Like I said, he's already had 2 this season. So I would hope that that's more so for precaution, because I just feel like that many concussions that close together is very, very dangerous. But it's to me, it's the Giants at this point until they can actually put together a full game, which I feel like is another issue for one of the other teams in the NFC East. Well, not just one, more than one. But they'll actually play the Cowboys this week coming up. Monday night game, divisional game. I hope they win. We'll see what happens. Just for my own things. But it wasn't a bad game. They just kind of shot themselves in the foot and wasn't able to get the W. Hopefully they can get it together next week. Following that game, we had the Redskins, who played the Vikings this week. They played on Thursday night. It was a whole reunion on so many different levels for both teams. Kirk Cousins coming back. Well, not coming back, but Kirk Cousins facing the Redskins again. Case Keenum facing the Vikings again. Adrian Peterson facing the Vikings again. There was a lot of swapping that happened in this. But at the end of the game, the Vikings were victorious 19-9 for the Redskins. The Redskins' next game is going to be versus the Bills. Case Keenum was 12 of 16, 130 yards. Dwayne Haskins was 3 of 5 for 33 yards and 1 interception. Adrian Peterson had 14 carries for 76 yards, 2 receptions for 27 yards. And Terry McLaurin had 4 receptions for 39 yards. I think their wide receivers did well. I think their wide receiver core is starting to grow more and being able to be leaned upon more. I still think it's so crazy how great Adrian Peterson still is, how he's able to still run up and down the field. His jump cuts are still like the best I've seen in a while, besides some of the newer running backs. But there's not too many running backs his age outside of Frank Gore that's still doing what he's doing. Those two are like top echelon of running backs that are still playing in the league right now at a quote-unquote older age. I hate to say older age for them because 36 is not old, guys.
So the GM's that.
But like I said, with the Giants, I just feel like they can't put together a full game. It's kind of the same for the Redskins. I think the biggest failure for them was being able to convert in the red zone. They got down there enough, but they could not get in for a touchdown. They had to settle for 3 field goals, which can cripple, your offensive side of the ball, to constantly get down there and not actually score. That's got to be at least internally demoralizing for yourself to try to be like, you work so hard to get all the way down to that side of the field and to come up with 3. It's got to be something that they need to address. And going forward, the problems with Haskins, they're just problems. He has accuracy issues at this point. I'm really interested to see what are they working on with him in practices, because the play that we saw in the college, I'm not even seeing flashes of that at this point, and it's kind of disturbing to see him kind of regress, in my opinion. And, especially him having to come in, with Case Keenum being put into the concussion protocol at halftime, coming in, I'm sure he got some work, but not a lot of work with the ones that week. So they have to make a decision. I'm kind of tired of the quarterback carousel at this point. Who is it going to be? And I understand him having to come in due to the injury, but is it going to be Case going for the rest of the year? Are you guys just going to finally put Haskins in to kind of figure out if you're going to keep him, if you're not going to keep him, or are you going to go for another quarterback next year in the draft? What you're going to do, I feel like that needs to be determined pretty soon at this point, because we're already halfway through the season, and this is the time to figure it out, But the Redskins, like I said, will play the Bills. The Bills next week, and they will try it again. And finally,
will Trent Williams help?
Oh, I do apologize. That is another bit of information. Trent Williams has finally ended his holdout and is apparently supposed to be reporting to the Redskins. I think it should help. It definitely should help. It shouldn't get any worse, but it should definitely help. It should definitely help. But at the same time, I still think Donald Penn has been doing a good job standing in for him during this holdout situation this season so far. But I think it just all depends on how ready to go Trent Williams is coming back in. Are they going to be concerned with putting him immediately in? Is he in shape? Has he been working out this whole 8 weeks and 10, 12 weeks, before the season started? So I think that's the biggest question mark at this point, is how effective is he going to be coming into the game, not playing live football in 8 weeks. So we'll see. I would think it would help, just because Trent Williams is a veteran, he's done so well in his position for his career. He should be able to turn it on and get it going, but we will have to wait and see on that. And the final game in the NFC East this week, the Eagles played the Bills. The Eagles won 31-13. Their next game is going to be against the Bears. Carson Wentz was 17 of 24, 172 yards and 1 touchdown, 8 carries for 35 yards. Jordan Howard had 23 carries for 96 yards, 1 touchdown. Miles Sanders had 3 carries, 74 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 receptions for 44 yards. Boston Scott had 5 carries for 6 yards and 1 touchdown. Alshon Jefferson had 4 receptions for 64 yards, and Dallas Goedert had 3 receptions for 22 yards and 1 touchdown. This was probably the first game in a long time that I've watched where I can actually say that I felt like it was a complete game. I feel like one of the things that they talked about during the broadcast of the game was a lot of people were saying that they need to start fast. And what veteran player Malcolm Jenkins was saying was that they're not really concerned with starting fast. They're concerned with starting well. And I think they started the game well, even at the certain points where, it looked a little bit shaky. They were able to pull it back together. I was definitely pleased with the defensive effort this week on the front and the back end. I feel like that the front end has kind of been lacking, which then exposes the back end even more, with them being, injured, not playing well, whatever you want to say. It all trickled down. So as you see now, Fletcher Cox got more involved. Brandon Graham, like I said, has been an animal all year, and it's nice to see Fletcher join him. And, on the other side of the ball, I feel like finally the run game is starting to shape up, especially with so many injuries in the wide receiver position. They did say apparently Deshaun Jackson should be back to practice this week. He's been out since the first game of the season with an abdomen issue. And nobody was really saying how serious it was, but it had to be serious enough for him to be out this long. But there wasn't talks of surgery or anything like that. So hopefully he's able to go, because without a deep threat, I think that messes up a lot of the schemes going on for the offensive side of the ball. I'm still waiting for Zach Ertz to return. Dallas Goedert is playing well as the backup tight end. He's the one that's been scoring. Apparently Sunday was National Tight Ends Day. Never heard of it.
Shout out to my man George Kittle.
You're right. You're right.
Don't do that.
I never heard of it. I didn't know if it was a real thing or not.
Don't do that. You watch Niner games too. Don't do that.
I did not know.
They said it on the broadcast.
They did. That's why I brought it up. That's exactly why I brought it up. I did not know it was a thing. I did not. I did not know that. Does this happen every year?
Yes.
I did not know. I swear
it's
to
the
God.
second year of National Tight End Day.
Okay, so
That's
it's been
why
2 years. So I missed last year. That's why I didn't know.
I mean, if your tight end played, you would have known.
My tight end was the best tight end last year.
He broke a record?
He did.
He broke Kittle's record?
What?
Kittle had a whole NFL record last year. It was Kittle and Kelsey. I didn't hear Ertz. Don't make that face.
Ertz had the most receptions of a tight end in a season.
I know he had catches because your offense don't move, but I mean like yards.
I said he broke a record.
And Kittle broke the record.
Okay, he broke a record as well. There's more than one record.
I mean, that's why you don't know it's National Tight End Day.
It's usually records.
Hey, look, that's why you don't know it's National Tight End Day.
It's with an S.
You know what I'm saying?
It's usually records with an S.
Your man was the only
more
one.
than one.
Hey, Zach was the only one who could have
celebrated
the holiday.
It's more than one. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. It's a fictitious holiday.
Oh, now it's fictitious?
It is fictitious. It's a made-up holiday. I like George Kittle, though. Don't get me wrong. He seems like a fun guy to be around, and he's a great football player. Do not get me wrong. But I never heard of it. Why are you angry? Because I never heard of National Tight Ends Day before Sunday.
Because I feel like if Zach came up with it, we would have heard about it last year.
I would have heard about it because I would have watched it. I didn't know.
But you watched them last year.
Yeah. Even when you guys were losing.
We still watched it.
I did. I didn't have a choice.
And that's my point. So you should have knew that was National Tight Ends Day?
Nah, I probably missed that part. I probably was looking at my phone or something.
Stop.
I know it was a baby.
Thank you.
Cardell, you good. It's fine.
But you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? It's cool that he didn't know,
hey, Cardell,
but it's not cool that I didn't know.
There's a holiday called National Tight Ends Day. Now you know.
Now I know as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I was supposed to know. I'm sorry I didn't know.
Pettiness.
So what day is it every year so I can look forward to it next year?
Whatever day George says it is.
Okay, so he gonna make another one. It's gonna be next week again?
It's whenever George says it is.
Okay, let me call up George. We're like, hey, can y'all get a schedule of when the National Tight End Day is so I can be prepared?
Gotta pay responsible. We good. I hope Zach gets back.
I do too.
Like Zach.
I definitely do hope he gets back
Zach.
as well.
It makes the offense go. So
I hope he comes back as well. I don't know what's happening. I mean, the only thing I can think of is apparently like the talks was that, Wentz and the offense, they want to make sure they spread the ball around, which is great. But I need you to spread it a little bit back that way too. just a tad bit. And I mean, at the same time, it makes me think about what we talk about all the time. Like, once you do, have a great year or whatever you want to say, there's film on film on that. So I feel like the people that we're playing against have studied their film against Zach, and they've been like, you're not going to beat us. It's going to be somebody else. And that's exactly what's happened. We just need to find better adjustments to figure that out. Especially next week against Khalil Mack.
You good. They got a whole Mitch Trubisky. You're good.
I was about to say, hopefully they kicker do what they kicker do.
That's wrong.
I'm sorry.
Some stuff with their kicker.
It benefited us last year. It benefited somebody this year. I don't know. I just hope they do what they did.
They're going through some things with their kicker.
What is it, Pinheiro? Yeah. This year, I don't even remember who it was last year. They changed kickers like to change the draws. I don't know.
I know the dude's name.
I think it's Pinheiro. It's like
no, Pinheiro's this year.
Okay, I don't remember the guy from last year.
We're gonna be above that. On the turf football, not that this is better news at all. Things didn't go well on the road in Minnesota at all. They were routed 52-10. They also lost quarterback Tyrell Pegram, and he's filling in for the injured Josh Jackson. There are, as I said, and then redshirt freshman Tyler DeSue had to come on to pretty much finish the game. The Gophers shut down Maryland's rushing attack, which allowed them to control the time of possession. Anybody watching that football, if you can control the time of possession and you can't get off the field on third down playing them teams where we're just going to keep the ball, that's how these things happen.
It's going to be a tough day.
They won the time of possession 43-17, pretty much. It was like 42-53. I'm rounding up to 43. And then for Minnesota, they're 8-0 for the first time since 1941. For the Terps, this year doesn't get any easier. We know what's happening on Saturday.
And it's their homecoming.
Michigan.
They're hosting Michigan, who just put the paws on Notre Dame, I believe, 45-14.
Lord Jesus.
I just hope, please. I don't even have words.
So hopefully you can get things going because it could be possibly
historic.
Look, if you can't get off the field on third down, like that's an issue on any level. on any level, right?
Harbaugh's vicious. It's 70-0. Go for it.
And I love it. I love coaches like that. Don't get me wrong, but Maryland, come on, man. I don't. Come on.
What if it was going against your Eagles?
You already know that. Hey,
look, if we get, if they can do it, no. If they can do it, they deserve to do it. Okay. I've always been like, I've never been the one to be like, oh, we gonna slack off because they not playing well. Nah. Okay. Just like the Maryland game where they didn't go for the
first game. Yeah,
they didn't. I'd have did it. I'd have did it and shook their hand afterwards. It's the game, bro. I gotta win. I don't know.
Cold as ice.
Right.
I'm too competitive.
No show is complete without the 9-4-50 breakdown. This week, Jamaal Haywood breaking down one of the favoriteest of moves, the Olajuwon Dream Shake, and the options off the move. Again, man, the Dream Shake and the options off it. And then we're gonna hit our second break and come back. We're gonna talk a little go-go, some rapid fire. You watching the Focus TV?
Down of Hakeem Olajuwon's signature move, the Dream Shake. So I'm gonna start in this area right here. I'm gonna show you some options off of the move as well also. So the most important thing about this move is not to have a narrow base, because that allows you to be skinny, and if you're moving your shoulders, you're not selling it to the defender. So you wanna have a wide base. So if I wanna go left, right, and come back middle, or right, left, and come back baseline, I can either go left, right, come back middle, fade away. If I go the same way, left, right, come back middle, shot fake, step through. Or if I go right, left, come back baseline, shot, or shot fake, step through. So also I can do it off of downhill moves also. So if I want to go here, dribble, spin, shake, 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 turn. Now I know that was 3, but if you watch Hakeem Olajuwon, he did all of that. All right, today we're gonna do a breakdown of Hakeem Olajuwon's signature move, the Dream Shake. So I'm gonna start in this area right here. I'm gonna show you some options off of the move as well also. So the most important thing about this move is not to have a narrow base, because that allows you to be skinny, and if you're moving your shoulders, you're not selling it to the defender. So you want to have a wide base. So if I want to go left, right, and come back middle, or right, left, and come back baseline, I can either go left, right, come back middle, fade away. If I go the same way, left, right, come back middle, shot fake, step through. Or if I go right, left, come back baseline, shot, or shot fake, step through. So also I can do it off of downhill moves also. So if I want to go here, dribble, spin, shake, 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 turn. Now I know that was 3, but if you watch Hakeem Olajuwon, he did all of that.
Welcome back to the Focus TV. As always, we appreciate the work done by Mr. Jamaal Haywood over at 9-4-50 with the breakdowns and, man, the Dream Shake, man. It's good times watching that man go to work. You know it's real when you got a whole move
named after you.
And people, you know, people coming to you to learn it, and still, like, it's not the same. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Capital City Go-Go. They had 3 selections in this week's G League draft. Right. The first of which was, I cannot read, Jalen Hudson. So I'm going to ask you your thoughts initially on Jalen Hudson.
I mean, I like it. Big guard, can shoot it from all 3 levels. Even though his numbers dipped last year at Florida compared to the year before, he can score, sneaky athletic. He will dunk on you. I want to see if he can play defense. You know, I know people look at the G League, blah, 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 minor league, but some tough people down there, and you just look across the NBA. I think the NBA is probably about 30%, 40% players with G League experience. So don't sleep. You playing against future NBA players. It's just that they need a little seasoning, or it could just be circumstances. They on a stacked team, you know, like. Look, if you got drafted by the Clippers and you play the wing, I mean,
you gonna be there for a while.
Yeah, you know what I mean. There's nothing they can do, though.
Take a little break. Take a little break.
So, but I like him. Obviously, you know, played in a major conference, so he played against few, you know, NBA guys. He's not, you know, afraid of the lights and stuff. Like I said, my thing with him is I just want to see if he can defend. And if he can defend, he'll be fine. Matt Kenyon, he's from Australia. Definitely took a look at a lot of film on him. I think he's gonna become a fan favorite. He got a lot of, you know, ish with him. Let me just say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen him defend him, breaking them, mix them up, and Joe like he slashed. He got the little handle. Yeah, he gonna shock some people because they gonna sleep on him. Yeah, he looked like Adam Morrison when he first came to the league, but when he get the rock, he trying to get you up out of there. So I like it, man. You know, he gonna become a fan favorite because he gonna definitely get the oohs and ahs and stuff. And obviously Trey Kelly from the area, everybody know who he is, veteran. Yeah. I like that was smart pickup, veteran. Played and get plenty of G League experience, so it won't be a shock to him. Somebody that, you know, just a veteran that you can rely on. He knows what he is. He's the aspect of his game I always love is that he's just smart. You know what I'm saying? He's efficient with what he does. No, he ain't gonna dunk on you and stuff like that, but those floaters and runners kill. He has handles. He can break you down. He can score from all three levels, and he can facilitate. You know what I'm saying? He's a solid defender. He knows how to defend. So, I mean, look, like they said, 90% of basketball is mental, and it ain't just how tough you are. It's knowing what the hell to do. And if you know what the hell to do, on top of knowing what to do with what you have, which is key, because some people try to play outside themselves. You know, you'll be fine, man. Plus, like I said, you know, he definitely gonna bring DC out. He can bring a lot of area basketball around, stuff like that. So it's just up to him to, you know, compete, you know, beat out a couple guys and do what he does, you know, and I think he will. So I like the pickups that they added. The second year for having this team, it's talented as hell, man. Because you know, just look at the point guard, Phil Booth from Villanova. They brought back down Chioza from that was actually at Florida too a few years back, but he got called back down. You know, Garrison Matthews is a two-way player. Noah Allen, Mike Cobbins, Kellen Dunham, all those guys are returning. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Jamal Gregory, who's from the area. Stanford Robinson, who's from the area, played at Paul VI. Then he went out and played there Indiana, then Rhode Island. So it's a lot of talent on this team, especially on the perimeter at guard. So you know, it should be interesting in training camp and stuff like that, and you know, practices, and you know, let the cream will rise to the top. We're gonna see.
Yeah, they got training camp this week. I know you'll be at Media Day this weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll have some coverage from that for you guys. As always, head over to findersbag.com, sports.com. But yeah, the Go-Go should be fun this year, not only because it's here too. You know, I had 20 wins last year. Want to see if they can build on it. Because the biggest thing here, we've talked about culture ad nauseum over the past, 6 months or a year at least. You know, and believe it or not, I know this is hard for some people, but the culture on the G League, it does affect, like it should affect. It should translate. It should be an organizational type thing, right? And so if you're watching this, what you're trying to get to, ideally, you got the Wizards and the Go-Go, and you're trying to get to where the Mystics are from a culture standpoint and from a result standpoint. And to get there, you have to be on the same page. And what I like going into this year for both groups is, we talked about this many times before, that OKC vibe to it, where it's youth and they're gonna scrap. And when you're trying to change and establish a culture for the better, that's what you need. Obviously, you need talented players, but exactly. And that's the biggest thing that, you know, it feels like it's being reinforced through the levels from the Wizards rosters down to the Go-Go is gonna have dogs here. We're going to fight. We're gonna scrap. We're gonna claw. And you know, I'm looking forward to that on both levels. All right, so rapid fire. What you got for us this week, man?
Where should I start?
That's wonderful. No question.
Okay, we're gonna start with Steph Curry. After the win over the Pelicans, you know, I guess he was asked a question in regards to, you know, the criticism. His quote was, "Everybody loves to label you when you're down, when you're losing. That's easy. It's easy to go on TV and say whatever you want. It's easy to throw darts at the team trying to figure it out. Say whatever you want to feel. That 24-hour news cycle is cool with us." What are your thoughts on not just the criticism for the Warriors, but this, it's not new, but simmering hate that's starting to come out for Steph now that they're kind of on the other side, they're not the dominant team no more?
I'm not surprised at all. I feel like most of the world outside of like diehard Golden State fans have been waiting for this moment, and they got a taste that the moment might be here, and they are salivating at this point. I'm not surprised. I applaud him for his response, his comments, because that's all it is. It's like nothing lasts forever, number one. Like, we all knew eventually it was going to happen. For them to have the type of run that they had for as long as they have is remarkable. And people just can't give give credit when it's due. They had a great run. Just because they had that great run, number one, doesn't mean that they're not still human. They're not still going to lose. I mean, personally, because I've been doing a lot lately, I haven't been able to watch as much NBA as I've wanted to. But the one thing that just kept coming on my phone the other day, the Warriors are down 70-37 at halftime. I was like, shit, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's terrible. But it's so amplified because of who it is. And I'm not surprised at all by this. And I just feel like unless they get it together, it's going to continue. They're going to try to just roast them as the whole season goes on, just because they're not, quote unquote, the same caliber. And I just think, if Katie leaving, that made another, knock on them for them people to try to talk about them. Like, well, you guys weren't that good if it wasn't for Katie, and now Katie's gone, so now y'all suck again, stuff like that. I'm not surprised at all, though.
They've been waiting 5 years to get these posts off, right?
Oh, they've been had them players in their draft.
That's what I'm saying. This is why it's funny to me. It's sad, but you can't be surprised because it's coming from the same group of people that refuse to acknowledge these guys' run when they did it, right? Mm-hmm. Discredited them at every step. Mm-hmm. So are we really shocked that? And this is an obvious thing, right? This is literally 1 + 1 = 2. The best backcourt in the league is missing a member.
Yes.
You lost the best scorer in the league.
Yes.
Right? And even if, aside from him leaving, Clay's not here this year, right? That's a lot when you got your roster turnover, and that was a veteran team. You know what I'm saying? It was a veteran team. So the things you can do with a veteran team, you have to go teach those things to a young team.
Yep.
This is a team full with, I think it's 9 players, 23 years or younger,
and they're either rookies or young players that came from losing situations. They don't know how.
They don't know how to win. Yeah.
And all I can say is keep the same energy. I'm gonna remain steadfast where I stand on this. We've talked about this before the year. They're gonna be fine when they figure it out. It's a young team, and also I like the kids that they have. It'd be one thing if the kids that they had are scared of the moment or not, or they weren't dogs, they're not ready to go back at people. They'll figure this out. I think everybody forgot, Golden State started somewhere too.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. They're just because the players left, their coaching staff is still there. Their culture is still the same. They have to
develop.
Right. So they're kind of starting their process over again. And yes, just like it did before, it took time. It's going to take time again. So, but like you said, I'm not surprised. They've been waiting on this for 5 years.
And then my last thing before I give it back to you, I was going to say, and this is like you said about starting that cycle again. And what's different this time is there weren't a Steph, Draymond, and Clay on that younger version to show them, right? So y'all know that will only accelerate said process.
Yep.
Relax.
The season started 2 weeks ago? A week ago?
All the crazy overreaction I've seen, if anything, these were the same people that turned opening night into the end all be all and turned it into it's just one game. So I refuse to take this too seriously, but go ahead, bro.
I think sports oftentimes is a reflection of what's going on in society. Mm-hmm. And right now the cool thing is just to hate. Just really, for a lot of people, because a lot of people are miserable. They're stuck in life. There's no growth with them. So You know, misery loves company, as the saying goes. There's literally nothing about Steph Curry that you can point to in this light.
I don't get it either.
Seriously,
he's like a super likable person.
Yeah, he cool dude. Grinded to get everything he's got, even with a father that played in the league. His father couldn't even pull strings to get him a scholarship at his alma mater, and his father's the greatest player to come out there. You know what I'm saying? He had to go to the low major and just wow people like that. Then he come to the league, ankle injuries, everything he said overcome. And then they get some pieces around, he get healthy, Clay comes, Draymond comes, and it clicks. They sign Iggy and all, and it clicks. They win the championship out of nowhere. And then they become a force. You know, he did it the hard way. He put the work in. He didn't take any shortcuts. He didn't manipulate anything. He just earned everything he's got. Family guy, you don't hear about him getting in no trouble. He hoops. He goes home. He's in the community. He's everything you want in a franchise player. You know, let's be for real. The hate is coming towards him and the Golden State Warriors because they got in the way of a lot of people's favorite player. And they didn't eat on his watch. You know, and we can go down the line, LeBron, you know, until last year, Kawhi, James Harden, whoever you want to name, the top guys, Russell Westbrook, OKC, they broke that up, all that. All these people, Chris Paul, Blake, when they was out on LA Clippers, there was a couple teams that was aligned ahead of them, and they bumped. They were, y'all got to move. How you don't respect that when all these other players manipulate the media, they strategic and trying to play together and take shortcuts and all that, but you getting on this dude who had to get it the hard way, who's not even as gifted as some of these other players that have way more natural gifts, but took to try to take the shortcut route to get the same thing that he got, doing it harder with less within him. It's nothing to disrespect, man. He's cold, man. That's where we at as a media, and that's what social media has done. It's given a microphone, video to a lot of miserable ass people around the world. And if you ain't tough enough to handle, which of course I know he is, if you're not tough enough to handle it, it'll eat you alive. So that's my thing. Even when I talk to young people, I'm like, look, man, you say you want to win, you say you want to be the best. If you can't take this, you don't really want it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to come. It's different. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I see. They're the dominant team in this area. So, of course, they do it. And they got in a specific play, they ended LeBron's reign. So, and a lot of people are mad with that because they was ready just like, I go keep winning LeBron, all that, for a little petty reason, say he better than Jordan. Yeah, y'all ain't got the art. Now they know for real, it's like, dang, it's dead. You see what I'm saying?
And they're the reason, like you said, that's the group of people you can point at.
Exactly.
Like, that's what
I see players, trainers, yeah, they ain't so arrogant now when they lose and stuff. But your players shimmying and doing all this stuff, flexing on people, all that too. Like, what are you talking about?
My whole thing is, it's an 82-game season, right?
Yeah.
So, how about we do this thing called wait and see? And I think if anything, this hate is just gonna accelerate the process. It's fine. What's one of the best things? You play team sports that helps everybody get on the same page, that us against the world mentality. And everyone's going to accelerate this thing, man. Like, you're gonna look, man, I'm gonna sit here and watch, man.
But you know, it's just, that's all it is. It's just hate, but he's built for it.
Yeah.
He's overcoming, so it's
organization's built for it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with this one. The Atlanta Hawks at 2-1. I know they're playing tonight. They might be 2-2. Trae Young went down, I just saw. The Orlando Magic, they're 1-2, but they've been impressive. They've been competitive. Which team you feel is more ready to make the playoffs this year? Because people don't forget, Orlando's coming off a playoff appearance last year. So which team do you feel is ready to make that leap and do damage in the playoffs this year?
I digress.
Both. Like, okay, so with Atlanta, it's done the fun way everyone loves today with the offense. It's so much fun to watch. And I'm not saying they don't play defense at all, right? But, you know, that's what everybody's excited about right now. Trae Young's been going nuts. We watch Trae Young getting acclimated and comfortable in the league, finding his footing. You know, him and his backcourt mate and Kevin Huerter, they're going to be fun, right? You got a nice 3D piece in DeAndre Hunter. You got some high flyers in your bigs. It's fun to watch Atlanta play. And the reason I'm going to say both is Orlando, last time I checked, they made the playoffs last year.
Yep.
They're a really good defensive team. I also like a lot of the young pieces they have. And also, everyone's favorite quote-unquote bust is finding his way as well. And Markelle gives them such a dimension that they truly lacked last year in the playoffs. His ability to, everyone keeps talking about the shot. There's more than shooting in basketball. His ability to break down his defender, get in the lane, open things up for his teammates. That growth, and I was so happy when Steve Clifford went over there anyways, right? And then when they went and got Markelle, and we see Markelle even like a little bit, they're different when he's on the floor. Obviously, they're going to be different, but the way DJ Augustine plays versus the way he plays is totally different. The other thing in this era with the type of guards you have, that's the type of like prototypical size and athleticism you want in year one these days, right? And the growth, I like what he brings to the table because there's a lot that he can do. You got Jonathan Isaac, you got Mo Bamba, you have Nikola Vucevic, which people just pay no attention to at all.
I don't know why though.
You know why.
This is game not pretty.
Yeah. But it's effective, right? And I honestly, part of me likes them a little bit more than the Hawks. I don't think they're better than, I'm not getting into who's better, but that's why I'm comfortable saying both. I feel like they will both make the playoffs, but I'm always going to roll with the team who plays lockdown defense.
I don't know. I mean, you saw Atlanta coming last year, so I expect them to make that run. Orlando, I know they made it, but I think they're getting the label of being a lockdown defender too early. They're weak on the perimeter. They can't guard, so they rely on their bigs to rotate and try to block shots, which will get them in foul trouble a lot. And I think that's what's frustrating Clifford. They really can't keep guard, like perimeter-oriented players in front of them right now. And right now the league is dominated by perimeter players, so that's what I think is going to be their Achilles heel, and they really can't score that well. I love what I'm seeing out of Markelle. He's starting to look like Markelle that you all know and love. So I just think eventually he's going to bump Augustine because even in bench minutes he's outperforming Augustine right now, and that's no knock against Augustine. The boy was the #1 pick for a reason. He's more talented. So I think once he get that, I think it's coming. Once he really secures that spot, I think they'll be on their way. But the way Trae Young is playing, he's playing at MVP level. Collins, with Vince Carter in the air, they got other guys that understand their roles and don't. And even I like Lloyd as a coach, what he's getting out the young guys. I just think the Hawks got a little bit more of a ceiling right now. I think they need. The Magic needs somebody, either Isaac or Bamba, to take a leap for them to kind of be with the Hawks.
Gotcha.
Because they got plenty of players. We ain't even mentioned Huerter, Kevin Huerter from Maryland. We ain't mentioned Cam Reddish is right there. Not Torian Prince, dude from St. Joseph.
DeAndre Bembry.
Bembry and all that. We haven't even mentioned that. They're deep, man. Len, they got size. They got Bruno from Maryland. They got a lot of talent just chilling. So, but I think their 1-2 punch is better than the Magic because really the only proven punch is Vucevic. On the Hawks, you got Trae Young and Collins you can always count on. And then whoever fills in. I don't know about that with Orlando, so that's why I got the Hawks a little bit ahead right now.
Well, I guess you were just saying who was going to make the playoffs or who was better, I guess.
Yeah, who's going to make that leap in the playoffs.
Okay, I'm sorry. So that's me. Yeah. I'm with you with Atlanta. They're obviously headed though, but yeah.
There you go.
But I mean, and that's gonna be the fun part this year. These young teams were literally just right there.
Everybody always superstar driven. I'm like, you forget these superstars at one point were unknown. They were coming in, so you need to pay attention to these youngins that's hungry. That's like, nah, I want my spot. I want to be on the billboards. Y'all gotta come up off that. Like what Ja Morant did with Kyrie the other day, man. You know what I'm saying? Him the game one day, then nah, I'm on you. I'm like, yeah, that's the dude who I thought you were. I thought you was that dude. You proved me right. You know what I'm saying? Got on him, got to block him.
They're gonna be fun too.
Come on, man. So I love it.
They're gonna be fun. I know people just don't like Ricky Rubio or whatever, but
Monty Williams doing a hell of a job with Phoenix. And that's with Ayton being out 25. No, you gotta get a better method, man, to try to hide whatever you was smoking.
25 games.
That just
Is this only his second season?
Yeah, this is how he started his sophomore year in the NBA.
Right, you just got here.
And now he's going to be waiting for a bit.
And you lucky Baines hooping, man. You know what I'm saying? He taking the pressure, but come on, man. That hurts.
It's going to be a fun time, man. Also, don't forget we got this whole other program. Check it out on the digital.
Wizards Outlook,
consumption.
Coming with it tomorrow.
Wizards Outlook being on tomorrow on digital. So we're going to see you guys next week. There's a lot of, like we said, we're gonna get some. Man, I'm still trying to breathe and get the fact that
Y'all go make sure y'all take your vitamins.
No. So we got Maryland football this week.
GW.
Go Media Day. GW. We getting there, man. Fun times, but wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Again, can't wait to see if Octavia is gonna have 2 good weeks.
Let's
Thank
see.
her segment.
Should
See
I
what
say
it
it?
looks like.
Should-
I mean, you can
Nah,
get
I'm
that
gonna let
off.
y'all live. It's cool.
Let us live.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all live.
Why, thank you very much.
I'll say
I'm going to be mature because I have to go. Good to see you guys next week. You're watching the Focus TV. Thanks again to Rodney and Raymond in the back for taking the
Always.